Dear listeners, join us this morning for a morning reflection. As always, I'm happy to be with you on air. I'm always happy to be here to be able just to talk and fellowship with each and every one of you, whichever way that we are able to build our lives and build our families. As we continue with our theme, which I began a few weeks ago, which was when I began talking about simple things that a husband, that a father can and should do. Then I moved on to simple things that a husband can and should do, and also we are grateful for the feedback you've been giving us about the same. And today I move on for those who are saying, now what about the mothers? What about the wives? Well, this week I talk about simple things that every mother should do. And next week, I'll talk about simple things that every wife should do. It's just, I always believe life is always about the simple things. It's always about being able to achieve or be able to do the simple things. I've always said that marriages, relationships are not broken by big things. They are always broken by small things. We always fail in our relationships, whatever capacity they are in, because of the small things. Because you forgot to say sorry, forgot to say thank you, forgot to open a door. It's just those small things that keep on creeping up. So then I'm talking to the mothers outside there and just sharing a few simple things that I think every mother can and should be able to do. Because remember that motherhood, I know for a fact, is not easy. I know for a fact is not easy. If I look at what my mother has gone through with us, if I look at what other mothers go through with other children, there is no role that is easy in any family. And no child comes with the user's manual. So at the end of the day, you're always navigating and trying to find your way. So I start off very, very quickly. The first one is this. Simple things that a mother should be able to do. First thing is this: take time to listen to your children. Take time to listen to your children. Now, this is very important. Why am I starting with this point? It's because it's very easy for a mother to assume that she's listening and she's not listening. Most of the cases I have is of mothers who assume that they're listening to their children, yet in truth you're not listening to what your child is actually saying. And the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is I'm getting the context. Listening is I'm actually getting what exactly you're saying. And this will help you as a mother to know really what your child is about. What your child is about. It stops you or protects you from assuming but your child is one thing, yet they are another. I've had mothers come to me and say, Victor, I know my son is 1, 2, 3, 4. When you sit with the son or the daughter, they are as opposite as heaven is from the earth. Why? The mother never took time to listen, meaning she never took time to know. So number one thing you can do is take time to listen. Don't interrupt your child. Listen to the very end. Even though you know how the story ends, it is not your story. Number two, you must always plant the right seed. Plant the right seed. There are moments there are moments when, as a mother, when your child may do some things or get to a place in their lives where they look like they're veering off. Your child might drift from you. Your child might at times do things that you wonder, what is my daughter doing, or what is my son doing? Now, if you invested in planting the right seed in this child's life, then that seed becomes their compass when they're older. That seed becomes their true north. How do you plant the right seed? I've always said it's the things that we do. It's teaching them courtesy, teaching them, simple things like how to pray, teaching them how to be polite, teaching them how to forgive. It's the small seeds you plant over time. And when your son or daughter veers off the road, these are the things that call them back in. As a mother, you must plant the right seed. And remember the laws of seed time and harvest. At the end of the day, you have to wait for the harvest. Don't assume the seeds you planted when a child was 9, that they'll grow when they're 11. No, they might spend their whole teenage years being wild and rebellious. But if you planted the right seed, in their 20s, they come back. Because that seed never went. Number 3, take time to know your child's heart. Take time to know your child's heart. Now, this is very important to know, because I've seen some parents who know very well, some mothers know very well, that their child, I'm sorry to use this word, but my child is a terrorist. My child in the house is always biting others. My child is selfish. My child never shares. There are things you know. And yet when you're called to school about a particular case about your child, you start saying, apana, boy isifanya kitu kama hiyo. And in truth, you never took time to know your son's or your daughter's heart. I insist this. As a mother, take time. It's a simple thing you can do. Know your child's heart. This is the most critical truth for any mother to know, because the heart of your child will help you to know what to expect from your child and what not to expect from your child. You'll know that this one, the way they are likely to be kind throughout their lives. This one, the way I know this one's heart, my daughter's heart, she's self-centered. And that's a fact. And you stay there and you are aware. Know your child's heart. Take time to know your child's heart. Something very easy that every mother can and should be able to do. Number 4, one of my personal favorites, be aware of your child's potential. Tafadhali, be aware of your child's potential. Knowing your child's ability will help you to know how to push them to be better and to what to invest in to make them become better. At times, we expect too much from our children than they can honestly accomplish, or we underestimate them about who they can actually become. And I'm saying this because I've seen at times people causing chaos, that my child is not doing well in school because of the teachers. But as a parent, have you taken time to know your child's potential? I had a case once that was so funny, of a parent who had gone off the roof saying that my child is very clever. Why are you saying my child is failing in a class? And this parent went on and on and on and on. And when you came to ask about what makes the parent believe the child is that well versed with books, the parent says that my child at 3 years was able to remove the DVD from the DVD and put it back inside. Now, honestly, how do you measure intelligence with that? It's good as a parent to know, what is my child's potential? Am I expecting a pilot and I will not get a pilot? Am I expecting a professional footballer and I can't get one? What am I expecting from my child? Can my child actually get this A? Is my child gifted in other things? Be aware of your child's potential. Number 5, this one is tricky before you go on this short break. Allow your children to thrive away from you. Allow your children to thrive away from you. Now, many a times it's the most difficult thing for a mother to do, is to allow your child to create their lives or world independent of your influence. But one of the best things you can do as a mother is allow your children to thrive away from you. This will not hamper them from becoming, but this will strengthen them to be independent and to survive in case the world becomes cruel, in case the world is tough. Allow your children to thrive away from you. One of the best things you can do for them and the social security in the relationship is when, as a mom, you tell your kids, it's okay. You can go do your things by yourself. I don't have to be there. It is okay. That, my dear friends, is something simple that any mother can and should be able to do. When I come back from this break, I will give you the other points. So as we continue with the other points, we are on number 6, which is this: teach your child to fix his or her own problems. Teach your child or children to fix his or her own problems. One of the most liberating things, yet the most trying for any mother, is to know where her limitations are in regards to her child's destiny. Because as a mother, you cannot solve all of your child's problems. You cannot be able to equip them to do, you cannot be able you cannot equip them by doing for them. Allow your children to solve their own problems. Teach them as often as you can how to solve their own problems. Teach them that if they make a mess, they can clean it up. Teach them, when they're at campus and they drop out, that is a consequence to pay for that. Let them solve their own problems. One of the sad cases I normally have in my office is when an adult, a 23-year-old young person, has quit campus and the parents are quickly trying to fix this problem, moving them from school to school, trying to solve this particular problem. No. And that shows that at some point, the child was not taught how to solve their own problems. As a mother, something you can do, and it's easy for you to do, is hold back and let your child solve his or her own problem. This is very, very key. The next one is this. Mind your language. Mind your language. The words of a mother either build or destroy a child. Children never grow and never go beyond their mother's words. Tafadhali. One thing a mother can do, and it's free of charge, is mind your language. Stop calling your child names. Stop baptizing them, rebaptizing them, ordaining them all sorts of names. That should stop. It's a simple thing you can do. Because the problem is at times as mothers, when you get angry, the first thing you call your child is a name. You'll call them, you'll call them a funny name where, you can say that the child is a fool or what. There's a word you use, and that word manifests in this child's life. Because you have authority in your tongue as a mother in the life of your child, and that must be known. And this goes to my next point, which is point number 8. Avoid yelling and threatening your child. Avoid yelling and threatening your child. This one is a complete no-no, because because the moment that you are yelling to a child, you have lost control. I've always said this. Yelling is not authority. Don't be a yeller in the house. Kujeni hapa mnafanya nini? Every time your tone of voice has got a threat in it. Then the problem is this: you don't even follow through. When it's a pastua, you're always trying to tell them that ndafanya, but not do. If you do this every time, you are threatening and yelling, over time, my dear friend, you lose control. Children always know when a parent is shouting, they have lost control. That's why there's an age when you shout, they respond. There's an age you shout and they watch you. As a mother, you cannot be a yeller. There's difference between authority and shouting. Then the next point is this: pray for your children. I always say this: pray for your children. And I've done a very long reflection about when a mother prays. It's good to look for it on my Facebook page. Pray for your children. As a mother, if you don't pray for your children, there's a chance no one on earth has prayed for them. Pray for your children by name. Don't pray for them generally, pray for them by name. And lastly, dear listener, take a break. Yes, mothers have said it. I always say it in every conference I go to. Mothers, take a break. Being a mother is a full-time job, and most mothers suffer from emotional fatigue and burnout. You burn out from mothering your children, but you burn out from even maybe being a wife. You burn out from even, you burn out from your work. You burn out from very many things. Take a break. It is good. It's okay as a mother to take a break and treat yourself well. You deserve it. Treat yourself well. You deserve it. Take a break. At times you go through the whole motions for your whole lives and you burn out. And by the time everything is done, the kids are gone, you have nothing left to give. And at that point, you get into depression because your life now is losing meaning. It's important to take a break. These are very 10 simple things that every mother should be able to do.